Hi there, thank you so much for clicking the thumbnail and being interested in my work. In this video I share with you my techniques and tips on how I draw the outline for a profile portrait. Now it's produced real-time audio, real-time video, so you can take a closer look at how my approach is. So let's dive in and take a look. Right, so the first thing to do is to get the center mark on this. This is 9x12, so you're looking at 4.5 on the width, and then it's going to be 6, so that's going to be there. It just gives you a little bit of an idea where to start. Then it's all relative then, you see, so if you do it small it's still going to be in the center of the image. But what I'm trying to do is fit the frame of the canvas, if you like, or the board is 12x9. So I'm wanting to fit the same as what I'm seeing on the image, because I've scaled that to that size just to get the composition right. So, but if you were doing a picture where you were sort of blending in the clothes, you could put what size you want, but you still can keep that for a centre mark, and then it'll just float in the middle somewhere, so you could have an idea where it is. But for this we can try and keep it accurate, so I'm just going to start off by getting a feel for it really. So we do it very light, so you have a feel from where the shapes are. So I left the image a little bit a little smaller, so all I'm doing is big shapes, so that's where that's going to be, and you've got to feel your way through it really, and let's just have a feel for where things are. So this is just basically just getting the idea where things are, so we just using that mark, just gonna put it there like so. That's gonna be there. It's only a rough idea, this bit is, then we'll try and get the idea of where things are then. We'll start measuring. So I want to just try and get all the elements just roughly where I think they're going to be. That's going to be about there. That's going to be about here. That's going to be that. And that's going to be, so I'll get a bigger pencil. From the centre mark there, you can see that that's going to be quite a way off there. So you're looking quite a way off there, I would say somewhere like that. Get the imaginary angles there. So you're using angles. I only got my little finger on the actual board as well, so it's more or less just using my shoulder. So I'm trying to keep it free, so I'm using my shoulder in there. So just got a tiny little finger just resting, just to give stability. So that's what I'm sort of trying to get this in first here, to where that will be. And then we've got like so. So that's going to be about there. So we're all just feeling his way through, just to see where things could be. just playing, really, just playing with the idea where things are. Right, so the centre point there, I'm going to see where that is there, so that's got to come a lot further that way than where I thought it was. So it's going to be about there. So that's your negative space. That's it. That's that. That's that there. So that's going to probably come down around about here. So we're just moving around shapes. That's that there. So we're just feeling his way through. So that's where your centre mark is there. So the eyes is going to be around about there. So then that, so if we measure the depth of that to that, so let's have a look where that is. So there and there, so it's just slightly above, just slightly above. See, that's a bit too big, so that's got to come back down here to there because it's just slightly above it. That's going to be about right. So we've got that point in there. So try and get established the bigger part of the face first, like so. Now I need to find now the size of that in relation to that. So you're looking that is going to be, so just check that's slightly, see that mark there is slightly over, so that mark there is slightly over, so that mark, so then we know that we're working with this mark here, that mark and that mark just before the ear starts, so we'll not measure that there, and then you've got your ear will be about here, like that. Then you can go horizontal then with your pencil and find out where that will come. So you've got that there, that there, so that's going to be there. That and that, so that's going to be that, so that's going to be about here like that, so that you're getting that sort of a feel for that then there. Okay, so what we're trying to do is trying to get these relationships. just lining up that, see how that lines up then with that, that's okay. So that's going to be okay there. So I'm just lining up that. Yeah, that's fine. So therefore then this is correct. So then we can level this off. All the time I'm feeling that energy of the person while I'm doing it. Now I'm going to see how far that goes back now. So that needs to be, so if I've got that there, that's going to be there. I've got a feeling that that then needs to be here. Like so. And that then it's sensing negative space as well. So he's sensing negative space. So now I've got the position there, I can just work and measure between the elements. So I've got a feeling that's got to be there. And that one will be in there like that. Sensing. So if you sense with your heart, you can sense it's wrong. Something tells you, you get a feeling that something's not quite right. I'm just measuring the edge of that, the eyelid there, so that's going to be about there, like so. So that'll come up there, and that'll be there like that. And this will be in there. It's going to be about here. So. Now you can check to see if that's right by measuring from the centre point again, and then measure your centre point to there. So the edge of that is going to be the same as where this is. So if that's going to be here, like so, because that's going to be probably going to be about there, then that's going to be about here. So we just just trying to get that in first. So if that's the case then, so if that and that's going to be, it's got to drop down a little bit. So if that, I had a feeling that was a little high, but I just needed to check to make sure I'm feeling correct. So that is actually going to be, it needs to drop down to sort of there. So that there is going to be, see, that's got to come over there a little bit more. It's got to come over there. So that and that. So that's got to come over there. That's got to come up. And then that's got to come around there like that. So we're getting that expression right. It's going to be in here, around there like that. And then that then will actually be around like there. So that's got to come down there, so that's got to come, it's got to go into there like that. And that will be there like that. That's it. And then that will come. So what I'm doing is sensing that so now that there, then there's going to be at the side of the eye, which is this. So then that then will be there. So if I measure that top of that head to, say, measure it from there to there, so that's going to be there. Not quite right. Okay. So measure the shadow's going to be, probably the shadow's going to be about there. So if I measure that, and that's going to be sort of just on that tip. So measure that, that's going to be on that tip, so it needs to go higher. So that needs to go higher. That needs to go higher there. Like so. So then that then will be about right. So that's got to be that height. That then's got to be up here, and that's got to be there like that. So that's got to be there. That's it. It's better. So now then, so we're happy with that. So if I measure from, so if I measure now from top, from that to that, it is it's the same as under the eyes and there. So if I measure from that nose, under the eyes and there, which is about right. So if I measure from the nose to where that is, eyelashes, under the eyes, it's about there. That and that under the eyes, it's about there. So that's about right, because that's going to come around about there like that. So that's going to be perfect. That's going to be dead on. That's it. So we're happy with that. That mark there. And then I'll come around here. Just see what that's like. So that lines up then nicely. And that'll come around in there. So that then would be just, yep, that's fine. And then that's going to be in line with that nostril there, which it isn't, so we need to look at that. So it is, so actually it is, that's right, it's bang on. So that's fine, so we're happy with that. So now then, what I'm doing here, all the time I'm looking at negative space. Negative space means space between one point and another. So if I do that, that's going to be there like that. That's it. Now then that's going to be there. So that's going to be all I'm doing is more detailing. So that's that. Maybe just a tad in there, just lessen that a little bit there. I think just a tad, and then bring that around there. So, and then that'll come. So what I'll do first is just roughly put it into place where I feel it will go. Bring that down there. Just see if that's going to be right. And then that. So I'm looking at the space, just feeling it. It's hard to put in words really what's going on. So that actually needs to come up more there. So that's going to be there. I'll look at where that line is up. Lines up, that's right. And that's going to line up there. So that'll come down. There, and then we've got the teeth, and then that'll be like so in there. that's that. So we'll have a look at that then, and that's going to be about right, I think, just about right there. And then this then will come around here. Again, so from here to top of the lip, so top of the lip is going to be about there, and it's going to be just above there, so that's going to be top of the lip, just going to be there. So that's not right, that's not right. So I've got a feeling that this is not correct here, so that's got to be, that's going to be there. There, that there. So let's measure it with that pencil. So from that top of the mouth, that needs to be the same, more or less the overall width of that to top of mouth. That's perfect. So that then should be right to sort of where that line is there. So there and there should be, yeah, so there to there. It's just about right, I think, because that's got to come down more anyway. When you think of that, when you think of that there, that's got to be in line with that there. So that has got to come down a little bit anyway. So that's got to come down a little bit anyway. That's going to be, so just checking all the time, checking where that is. So that's, if anything, I think that needs to come back in there a little bit like that. That's it. And then we'll get rid of some of that teeth, like so. And then we'll get rid of that shadow there. In fact, I think this needs to come down a little bit anyway, to be fair, like so. So I think that's right. Let's just have a look at that. So I can check the measurement of that by just going to there, to the top of the nostril. In the relation to that is where, so the width of the eyes there is, so the width of the eye there is the same, just underneath the top of the, so the width of the eyes there is just underneath the top nostril there. That's it. So width of the eyes there is just perfect. So that's it, that's sorted. So that's that done. Now to this bit. Right. Okie doke. Now then, so what we'll do first is sketching where you feel it should be, so that we know where the ear is. That ear will come around here like that. Let's use the palm. That's going to come around, probably going to be about there. So I'll measure that. That's going to be at bottom of the lip. So looking at the top of the lip. So yeah, needs to come just a little bit less out of there. So that's going to be there and there. That's it. So that's that. And then we've got that's going to be there. So I can measure now the width of that there in relation to that is on the tip of that eyelash there. So the tip of that eyelash there, that there, should be in relation to that, should be about there. So if I measure that again, so from that there to there is the tip of the eyelash. So from that point there to there, that is bang on. It's bang on. Spot on. So that's correct at that. And then that will be there. So it's interesting because you can guess where it is, and then it's nice, and you know, sometimes you're correct, but you know, it's like practice then, isn't it? But you're just correcting any mistakes if you've got any. So I would think that that's going to be higher than that. So let's have a look. So that's going to be in line with that there. So that's going to be in line with that. That's going to be in line with that. That's, yeah. So therefore then that here has got to come up around there like so. So you can measure the height of that in relation to where it is on there. So it's slightly over that, which is exactly right. So that's okay. And then we can go in now with where that is in relation to the top. So you're looking about there. So we'll draw that in there like so. That's more or less where my marks was. That's it. And that's going to be your hair. So I need that. I'm putting in now. It's just going to be about here. So we'll just go around here. This was actually a bit of a taster to what happens on my Patreon, where I do real-time video, real-time audio, plus I select certain videos I've done for YouTube and make them longer and more in-depth, around about 4 hours, where I do narrated instruction and giving my tips and techniques. So it's worth checking those out. I appreciate the actual support if you would.
Please check out the links in the description below, where it will take you to a web page where I show you what's on offer, and also there's another link where it takes you straight to Patreon. Would really appreciate your help. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for getting this far in the video and sticking with it. I hope you've enjoyed it. More to come. Just let me know whether you prefer this real-time audio, real-time video to the other format I do, where there's music and it's just clips of certain things, speeded up in some areas, slower in others. So do you prefer this sort of thing where I'm just talking and it's quiet, or do you prefer the music in the background and what I've done previously? I'd really appreciate the feedback on that, so I could create better content for you. Anyway, thanks very much for viewing this. Take care and be well.